Hi, my name is Katie. I live in London in England, and I am here just to chat about my ACL journey with Tommy. So I had my ACL injury when I was playing netball last November, November 21, and it was a little bit slow to diagnose. So I didn't actually get confirmation that I'd totally ruptured my ACL, meniscus and kneecap until about 6 weeks later. The surgeon said it looked like a bomb had gone off in my knee, was what he said. And due to NHS wait times, I had to wait quite a long time for my surgery. So I didn't get the surgery until May 2022. So I then used the hospital's recommended physio, and I work in the fitness industry. So I was a little bit, I don't want to say suspicious because I'm very trusting of professionals, but I was a little bit, I was aware that I was been overloaded, and I was concerned that I was doing things which I just wasn't capable of doing. So I had been recommended Tommy through the prehab guys. And so I reached out to him and I said, can you help me? So we had a chat and he said yes. And then basically we started. So we started in August. So that was, quite a bit of time after my surgery. And really quickly, I think, Tommy just identified the issues which I knew I was struggling with, which was, first and foremost, I'm a really busy working mum. I've got 2 young children and I run my own company. So I'm quite good at prioritizing like fitness and particularly my rehab, but I had not a lot of brain space to sort of think outside the box and question my thinking and that, was the physio I'm getting the right physio I needed, and who could help me? Because that's quite often the biggest barrier, isn't it? It's like, who can help me if this physio isn't doing the right job for me? So that's where Tommy came in. So basically, I think the biggest thing I was struggling with was swelling, really poor range of movement, and also just a lack of confidence. I really didn't feel like I was making progress, but I was been told I was making progress, and I knew in my heart of hearts that I wasn't. And some of the exercises I was been prescribed, I was like, I can't do it, and there must be a reason why I can't do it. So I think that was just a no-brainer for me then, speaking to Tommy and him explaining why I couldn't do these things. And interestingly, he said it was something he was seeing more and more often, particularly with patients going through NHS treatment in the UK. I'm not going to criticise the NHS. I think they're amazing and what they've done for the country is incredible, but for me it wasn't working out anyway. So the real thing, which if anything was holding me back to get new treatment, it was just time. It was, like I said, I've got 2 kids. I revolve my world around them, and I'm a busy worker as well, and so it really was just the time and the brain space, but Tommy made it super easy. So I started working with Tommy in August, and he just took me back to basics. When he said to me, I think you need to go back on crutches because you're not walking properly, I was like, what? But I listened to him, and also I knew that I was limping and I was catching my foot on things, and I knew that I wasn't making the progress that I should be making. And really it was about bringing it back to basics, really focusing on my gait, about building up strength and range of motion. So those daily exercises, which, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I was like, oh my goodness, I got to do my backpack hang, and I got to do, the pulling my leg in. I'm sure that's not the right phrase, but I did sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed with it, but with Tommy by my side, he was just like, don't worry, he coached me through it. And also he gave me permission to take a rest day if I needed it. I think, one of the biggest gains I've had is just, it's just the genuine, like, every week it's a positive, because I've been following the program, because I've been taking his advice. And I think having the check-in is really, really important. Just making weekly improvements, because from a mindset point of view, to all you other ACLers, it can be a bit, sometimes you'll have good weeks and other times you'll just be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that I can't do the things I love to do. And, pre-ACL, I was running, I was playing netball, I was skiing, I was playing tennis, you name it, I was doing it. I'm a big TRXer and I work in the fitness industry, so I couldn't go to any fitness events, I couldn't do anything. So anyway, going back to what I really was gaining was just the strength, the weekly improvements, and immediately my swelling went down. And I hadn't really appreciated that the swelling was really bad. And when Tommy first made me do my swelling assessment, he was like, you're like a 4 out of 5, like we really need to focus on reducing that. And I hadn't even appreciated it. I just sort of thought, this is what it's like now. And so that was really, really great. And also ever since I started working, you know, on this program with Tommy in August, immediately the swelling went down, and it has stayed down, which has been really useful. In terms of the next thing, like in terms of who I would recommend for this program, it definitely would be anyone who is looking to return to sport and like good levels of activity. I hadn't appreciated that, you know, the surgeon did warn me, but you know, an ACL recovery is a long journey, and without the right people by your side, it can be a dangerous journey, i.e. there is massive risk of rupture and, you know, re-injury. I don't know if that's the right term. But also I think what is really important is, you know, it's having, like, for anyone who's gonna go down the ACL